even doing this?
How did this happen?
Why is this
I don't know if
happening?
I'm
Does this
in
matter?
control. How did this happen?
Am I even doing
I
this
don't know
right?
if I'm in control. It's a sunny day in your suburban neighborhood. You've decided today is the day to hang out with your friends at the park nearby. You begin to think about the weekend ahead of you, and when you bring your thoughts back to the present, you're staring at your alarm clock. It's 6 a.m. on a Monday. You remember taking your friends and hanging out with one of them on Sunday. You remember it clearly. But were you actually there? Were you the one in control? You remember one of your friends looking hurt at you, but you have no clue what you said. You left your friend's house late that night. You look at your hands. I must have been on autopilot, you think. But what if it wasn't autopilot? What if you had been locked out, but completely unaware? Who is really in control of your body? The idea of control exists in cooperation with the idea of sentience. Theoretically, if we are sentient, then we are in control. If we are not sentient, then we're not in control. But who are we? The list of names for what we are extends far. We are Homo sapiens by a scientific definition, we are souls by a religious definition, we are beings who don't fully understand how we work, or creatures who search for purpose on this unforgiving planet. Are there multiple of us in a singular human mind? Are we out of communication with the other, for the most part, except through memories? Is our so-called autopilot just another soul? When people discuss control, they tend to avoid the hard questions. When people think about control, we don't tend to even consider the fact that it could be something else entirely controlling us. If we look at other people's opinion on control, it's usually about power or forces of nature, things we don't really have control over, not usually about the control of our soul over our body. How much of what we do can we control? Our body controls things automatically. We can control some of it, but none of us can stop our heart from beating with only our minds. None of us can prevent ourselves from doing the things that we need to do to survive. I mean, yeah, you could starve yourself theoretically, or stop drinking water, but there's other things that your body will continue to do without you. You don't control your digestive system or your blood flow. All of these things are autonomous. Now, there's a difference between autonomous systems and the autopilot I was talking about earlier. As I would define it, the autopilot over our bodies can be as simple as zoning out, or more complicated, like skipping periods of time. It can also be understood through concepts like dual consciousness. Despite theories about dual consciousness being related to people who had a split brain procedure done for epilepsy in the 1940s, a study made by U of A in 2017 disproves this concept. Dual consciousness is the idea that there are two entities in one person's mind, unable to communicate with each other than through their actions. The difference between this concept and the idea of the autopilot is that both consciousnesses would be active at the same time. With the idea of an autopilot, we have two consciousnesses that swap their turns in activity. Suppose that you don't have control at all. There's no second soul that controls the other half of your day. There's no autopilot. There's just the illusion of control. The illusion of being sentient. You aren't really sentient because your soul does not exist, therefore you do not have control. You are a biological being programmed to respond to your surroundings in the way that would be most beneficial for your kind's survival. Creating the idea that you are sentient just simply could be the way that most people survive, which makes you not actually sentient, even though you believe yourself to be. When you aren't thinking, you're on autopilot, and only when you are thinking can you be aware of the fact that you exist. When you're thinking, you are also on autopilot, but being given the illusion that you as a soul exist. The human brain is the very thing we know the least about. We try to act like we know what's happening by categorizing certain parts that relate to certain things, but we really have no idea what's going on in our brain. It's the fact of how little we know that causes us to treat our brains like some unknown entity, the soul. Since we know so little, we have no idea if we are programmed or if we are an entity entirely separate from our body. If we are just programmed, we can only begin to guess what that means. If the autopilot is another soul in your body, then maybe one day we could communicate with each other. Who knows, anyway? I could keep rambling on about ideas of how we might be in control of ourselves, or not, but most of us would rather not think about how much of ourselves we control. After all, there's a lot to life, so why should we focus on the things we will never know for sure the answer to? Do you think you're in control of yourself? Or do you think there's multiple people, or nobody at all controlling you? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching till the end of the video. Goodbye.